Hi, Britt. How are you?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How about you? Good to meet you as well. Finally, after all this time.
Yeah.
Because we've both been at it. You longer than I, but we've both been at it for quite a while now. So it's good to finally cross paths.
Yeah. We don't get to come to Lisbon very often, you know. I think this is maybe it's either third or fourth time here.
Fourth.
Yeah. And we played at this festival, I don't know, 6 years ago.
Yeah. Were you on?
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. So you enjoy playing here. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're doing straightforward love songs now.
There's a couple, yeah. My Babe is, I guess you'd call that a love song, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say Satellite. I mean, Satellite is one as well. I would say.
Yeah.
So, but it's been around for longer than My Babe, right?
Yeah, Satellite was one of the songs we actually wrote that. I wrote that in, gosh, I don't know how long ago, but we tried recording it for They Want My Soul a few albums back. And we recorded it with Dave Fridman, and it was sort of a thing where we recorded it right as soon as it was written, and it wasn't quite ready. You know, we recorded it, and it was still, we needed to play it live a bit, and so we did. We played it live for years and years, and then we finally recorded it again, and this time it worked. Yeah.
For My Babe, what was your mindset that you decided to go that route? Like, I'm going to do something that's very clearly something about someone who I have feelings for, you know, and I'm not going to be shy about it.
That's how I was feeling. I was feeling feelings for someone and not feeling shy about it. I was, I had this chorus. I mean, it was a thing where I had the chorus as sort of syllables, and I could tell it was going to be somewhat anthemic. It was a melody, and I had some placeholder words, and I was trying to think for a long time what was it going to be about, and it didn't seem like it wanted to be something political. It didn't seem like it wanted to be something that was about, you know, Saturday night street fighting. I wanted to sort of mess with the idea of this song that was sort of shouted and anthemic and make it about something that was actually softer, you know, and I don't know, I liked that I tried a bunch of different combinations, and I worked on the lyrics for a long time, and that was the one that seemed to work, so I kind of honed in on it.
I didn't mean to ask, like, where did it come from, because things come from where they come from. Things come because you have a guitar on your lap, right? So, so not in that sense. I was just saying, like, from a mental perspective, like of a certain mindset, like, did something happen in your life that made you, like...
I mean, I was in a relationship that was...
That explains it then.
Yeah. I mean, easy enough, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is not a gossip show. You don't have to go further than that.
Yeah.
So you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm good for you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad. I hope it's still working out.
Well,
you know.
I'm doing all right now. Let me put it that way.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Awesome. Lucifer on the Sofa. I was listening to it and the song, and I think it was the second time I went like, oh, this is Lucifer is us.
Yeah.
It's whatever, you know. Songs are whatever you perceive them as, right?
Right.
But for Lucifer, was this unannounced? Would you say? Was this a surprise to see Lucifer on the Sofa?
Yeah, it was a thing where I wrote the lyric. You know, there was some things going on in the song that I understood very clearly where it came from, and then there were some things like this line, Lucifer on the Sofa, which I loved, but I wasn't exactly sure what it was until I kind of reflected about it later. And it was really the conflict inside me. I could be the Lucifer on the sofa if I wasn't careful at this moment, you know. And it was the conflict between the person that I or you or anybody can become in times of stress or in times of, you know, despair. And it was really about trying to overcome that.
Is the sofa favorite place to be for Lucifer? Because there's other places that are on.
He'll show up anywhere.
Yeah.
With ashes on his lips.
Top 3 places for Lucifer to show up.
Well, we could say, you could say the sofa. You could say, I
like lists.
Trump Tower.
Trump Tower. Fantastic.
You need another one?
I think so.
I don't know. See that porta potty over there?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially in, well, not this early in the day, but maybe later on. Talking about My Babe in Lucifer on the Sofa and all the rest of the record has great tone. Do you chase tone? Like, do you chase tone? What do you do to chase tone? I'm a guitarist as well. So, is this like a never-ending journey for you, or have you settled on any decisions?
Are you talking about guitar tones or the tone of the tone and the mood of the song?
Tone of the mood of the record.
The record.
I would say the whole record, even though it had 3.
Think about that a lot, you know. And I kind of. I wanted to react a bit against the record that came before it, Hot Thoughts, which was very much, it was a little bit more of an electronic record. There were a lot of keyboards. There was, some programmed drums and stuff. And I just kind of wanted to make a record that was, instead of where Hot Thoughts, we were kind of writing it in the studio, and it was very much that sort of studio creation. This time I wanted it to be a little bit more like what the band was like when we first started out, which meant me sitting alone, often on my floor with an acoustic guitar, and that being the song. If I could make the song work as just me with an acoustic guitar, strumming and singing, then that was the song that I wanted to go for. And just wanted to make it more sort of an earthy record that was about a band.
You know what that reminds me of? Like 15 years ago or so, I had a band, and I had this idea that guitar-wise, I wanted nothing but the guitar and the amp, maybe some EQ pedal or something, but that's it.
Right.
And throughout the years, I've added some stuff here and there, and no prejudice against any effect really, but every now and again, I think I just need the amp and the guitar and drive maybe.
Right.
Do you feel the same way sometimes?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Something that's just more basic. I mean, if you can make a song work with very little,
bells and whistles
and ties and knots and everything, then that probably means that the song is strong. And if you're relying on some kind of effect, some kind of gimmick or like a delay that's going to make the beat happen or something, like those are all cool tricks, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the song. And to me, the song is the melody, the words, the syllables, the chords.
There was something that was very prevalent in, or somewhat prevalent in spoon music from the early records and so on. This is poorly put into words because it's, trying to put music into words, because who cares? But music is frequencies that make you feel things, and sometimes in words sometimes. But there was this uneven or odd number of bars that you guys used to have. Did you quit that altogether? Because I have not seen this for a while.
You're talking about like songs where like a section will repeat in sixes or something.
Yeah, or something that was like I'm not really good with bars. I'm better with time signatures. But for instance, like there was like 4, 4, and then 4, and not 8. So it's present on quite a few songs from back in the day. I remember. So it was something like you consciously stopped, or it just happened.
I mean,
you know what I mean, right?
I know what you mean. You're talking about either the time signature itself, or are you're not talking about the way that the bars repeat?
I'm talking about the way that the bars repeat.
Okay, well, the way the bars repeat, I mean, that's
or not. Sometimes they don't repeat.
Yeah, right. I had there's an interesting thing I heard about AC/DC was first thing I heard was that they intentionally speed up and slow down certain sections of the song. So they're like, we get to the chorus, it really needs to kind of speed up here, and they're thinking about that, and I think that's fucking great because that's the natural way that people do things. And so often in the studio these days, it's like, turn on the click, and that's what we're playing to.
So basically,
that can work. That can work.
Yeah. But sometimes it's useful, right?
Yes, sometimes depends on the quality of the musicianship. Sometimes. But,
sure. But breaking news, you guys don't use click tracks.
No, we certainly do sometimes.
Oh, okay.
But I thought that was a cool information that really hit home. But the other thing that I remember reading about AC/DC was that they wanted everything to repeat in 4s. If it repeats in 3, that's just like sets you off a little bit. It's just like it makes your brain feel a little like a little funny, and it might, it works for certain songs more than others. But I think maybe when we were making this record, I was more of in an AC/DC frame of mind, where it's like, make it plain, make it work in this way, make it exciting in this way, make the brain have to maybe do a little less processing.
I like that though. I like odd signatures, and I find it very natural.
Right.
For myself.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
I do. I mean, then, and the coolest people, like even I noticed recently, like a lot of Bee Gees songs will have weird repeating, measures. Just little. You wouldn't think that about the Bee Gees, but there's just these odd things, and because they're so well written, you never think about it. But if you sit there and count it, it's like he's repeating that in 7, and
I've never noticed.
Yeah, I mean,
really?
Listen, it's the opposite of the thing I was just talking about AC/DC. Both things can work,
exactly.
but they make your brain do different things.
For sure. I like intricate stuff. I just found out like recently that I love modal mixture. Like I love Picardy thirds, and I love like a classic like Picardy third, like minor to major change, just like very sweet. I don't mind it at all. I don't find it. I mean, sometimes everything can be a gimmick, but I just find that if you like something, then what's the problem, right? Yeah, why be jaded about
it should all be about the way it makes you feel.
Exactly. Right. You had some friends of the show on the records, just such as friends of our show, past guests. Jack Antonoff, who was here, we spoke to him a few years ago.
Oh yeah?
I think, I don't know, 10 years ago maybe?
Yeah.
You're friends with White Reaper, I've seen mentioned on the record, that had some influence on the thing. Sam and Ryan were on the show as well, and Tony. You're going to be asked a million times about writing Wild with Jack Antonoff, but like, were you very quick about it?
Very well. It was quick and long. It was a thing where we got together for one day, and it was a long time ago, many years ago, and we came up with, I think, 2 songs that day. But none of them. The thing for Wild was my favorite, and it didn't have any words though. It was just the thing where we had chords and sort of a bit of a instrumentational melody, and he had a cool bass line that he put on it, and I thought it was great. But I didn't. We needed words.
Sure.
And I tried writing words for it for years, and I would not that I was trying it every day. I would try it, set it aside for a year, come back and listen, and was like, nah, that's not quite it, and I'd try again. Finally, I got it right during while we were working on the songs for this record. I finally felt like this is the one. But yeah, so anyway, it did take a long time, but I was only with him for one day.
Because that's I'm asking because that's what it sounds like to me for some reason. Like I would imagine like these guys got together and wrote that in that specific period of a day. Like didn't take like a week or something.
Yeah.
Like it seems focused, right?
It was in a matter of maybe 30 minutes that the music part came together.
Sometimes it's just like like that.
In the end, I changed the key and I slowed it down a little bit, and then that's what made it easier to write the words to. But when it was like that, it was a great chord sequence, but I just couldn't come up with the words.
You guys have been around for almost. You've been doing this for like 30 years now.
Yeah.
So is it? I feel a sense of you being extremely grateful about this.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure where you're picking that up, but that's accurate.
Just vibes.
Yeah, my vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel really lucky about that. You know, this is what I always wanted to do.
And it's,
there were moments where I thought that it wasn't going to be possible, you know, because we put out a record. Our first record came out, it didn't do so well. Second record, we moved to a major label, it didn't do so well either. And it was, at that point, I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought I was going to have to, after we got dropped by Elektra, that second record, I thought I may not be allowed to put out a record again. I'm not going to stop making music, but it's probably going to be me putting it out myself and doing it, you know, just locally, and that'll be fun. That'll be cool. But I didn't think I was ever going to be anything bigger than that at that point. And somehow, the songs on Girls Can Tell, our third record, hit people like the other ones hadn't. And I mean, I think it was the best record we put out to that point, and maybe that's why. But yeah, for then things to slowly build was very appreciated. Each step along the way was really appreciated.
Was it back then already the thing? Like you have 2 records to do something. Nowadays you have like 3 songs, I think, or maybe 1. I'm not even sure anymore. I don't care too much about the commercial aspects of things, but you know, as a professional musician, you have to, right?
I felt like. Yeah, I mean, really, with the major label, we only had 1 record, and they dropped us after 4 months. And so, yeah, the feeling was, especially after you'd been let go by a major label, then the feeling was at that time that your band was tainted goods, and nobody was going to want to work with it again. And also, you know, there's a lot of lucky breaks with any kind of success, and
yeah, for sure.
Lots of times, lucky breaks don't happen after you've. At least in the record industry, at that point in time, it was like you got one kind of shot and then that was it, you know.
Well, we're here now, and you show them, right?
Yeah, right. Eventually.
Okay, eventually, exactly. As good as enough motivation to do anything, right? Would you name us 3 things that you're made of?
Water.
Music.
Water, music? Is that what you said? Did you say something?
No, I said useful. Useful.
Oh, useful.
I'm not going to speak for yourself. I'm going to speak for you, I mean.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
it can be anything. It's not very important and extremely important because it sticks with you forever. That's it.
Water, music, and let's say tequila.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Water, music, and tequila. I think so. It's like music's in the middle, and then you pivot.
Yes, exactly. More water in the morning.
More water in the morning. Tequila will have fun later.
Right.
Exactly. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Yes.